Alright everybody, so I'm here to just quickly do a video on this where the Insomniac Games just released an update that is supposed to fix a few bugs, specifically regarding suits. Now, they're specifically that on the Last Stand suit, the front spider emblem stops clipping into the suit or the jacket when Spider-Man is hunched over. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit had the soles of the shoes recolored black or back to black, and they actually improved upon it. I think from when the suit or when the game originally launched, because I think the bottoms of the soles were completely black, and then when they updated the suit. Okay, so then, okay, I'll explain as I do this. And then the web suit, aka the Raimi suit, the back spider emblem had a problem where it would clip into or hover over the back in certain poses. Apparently, just in performance mode. But yeah, so yeah, and apparently that would just be in performance mode. I do not remember seeing it, at least when cutscenes would play, when I did my playthrough of the game with that suit and the black variant. But yeah. So, I showed this off in the previous video when I went over the suits that they added in the last update before this, or the update before this previous one, or before this last one, or latest one at the time of recording. And it was visible in the photo mode, and it was visible in cutscenes when Peter would be bent over in a certain way forward. So, yeah, so here's the Last Stand suit, and it only happened in performance mode. I don't know why. In fidelity mode, that was not actually a problem. So yeah, but as we can see here, and you could spot it in the in this mode too. For the most part, it looks like it's fixed. Trying to be able to see it. Here we go. Or actually, yeah, pretty much entirely it is fixed. What it seems like is... Oh, that's not good. Okay, so from certain angles, the top legs at the very least will still clip into the torso, which is annoying. But at least they fixed the biggest part of it, which was the top of the spider emblem, or just the entire spider emblem clipping into the torso. This was a glitch that didn't make any sense to me, and I'm very glad that they fixed it. This was a returning suit from the first game, so I think all they had to do was, or what I think happened is they had to, when they ported it from the first game, they had to adjust, certain things, maybe rebuild certain parts of the suit from scratch, and yeah, I need to... Okay, so let me just save that so I can put it on Twitter. But yeah, so when they converted this suit to work with this game, or yeah, to work with this game in the newer version of the engine, I guess they didn't quite put the spider emblem on the front that well. On top of that, if you're using some of the suit styles, mainly this one, is that, yeah, it happens on this one too. Take a screenshot. Two, that happens there too. So two of the three suit styles that they added use a white variant. This one is supposed to match the classic Venom look. You can see the white rectangles on his gloves, which are not there for the other suit styles. And they added this really ugly color that's supposed to be a reference to... I'm not sure what it is, but it's something from the comics. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't really care either. So I just think it's an ugly color. But, yeah, so... Okay, so that is for the most part fixed. I appreciate them going through and doing that. So, yeah. Now, I don't know, because they didn't specify, I don't know if they fixed what happens with the Into the Spider-Verse suit. If you didn't know, and I saw this with other people's gameplay for the cutscenes, during the cutscenes with, oh man, and I think that's just how the suit is he kind of looks like a Spooderman. Yeah, it's just the way that the mask is shaped for his head. For the cutscenes where Peter takes his mask off, what will happen is the top of the neck for the suit will clip into his skin on his neck. If you don't know, for specifically when they're in suits in this game, and this was revealed with some of the glitches that unfortunately have been in this game for a while. Oh. That ain't good. You guys saw that too, right? Yeah, you can see it from this angle. Look at his right eye. The eye that's not on the screen. Look at the top of it. You can see a slight little space. You can see the leaves on the tree and the sky behind it. Oh, that's not good. It's not completely lined up with his head. That doesn't make any sense. This is also a returning suit from the first game. So I think they had to convert it to work with this game. I don't know why it wasn't in this game from the jump, but at least it's here now. But yeah. I hope that they fixed that. I don't know if they did because they didn't specify it. I think otherwise they would have said for the Into the Spider-Verse, or for Peter's Into the Spider-Verse suit, clipping has been fixed with the neck. I think that they would have said something like that. Now, the second one is the Amazing 2 suit. Now, at the start of the game, or at the beginning of when the game launched, this suit had a few different things. It had the normal looking eyes, and it had, hey, black souls on the feet. There was an update. I think it was the update that fixed the colors on the Raimi suits, the black and blue one, or red and blue one. But for some reason, somehow, I think they may have adjusted the colors on this suit a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what exactly they did to this. But with that update, the lenses on the eyes got bugged the fuck out to the point where they were glitchy. And I think it was both in performance and fidelity mode. At certain angles, you would get glitchy eyes on the black parts, I believe. This needed fixing, and I think in the next, either the very next update or the update after that, they fixed that. However, when that happened, somehow they fucked up and changed the bottoms of the soles of his, they changed the soles of his boots so that they were not black anymore, but red. And I think they even improved it here, because I think originally, if I'm remembering right, the bottoms of the bottoms of his shoes were entirely black. They did not have the red circles. I could be wrong. But the circles on the bottoms of his shoes were not red like they are here. now, thankfully, but they were entirely black. The update that fixed the eyes, somehow they missed the fact that the soles of his shoes are supposed to be black. So, yeah, so they turned red like the rest of the boots. They have now fixed these, so that's great. I very much appreciate that. And then one more suit. The web suit. So, with this suit, I believe it was the update that adjusted the colors to being more movie accurate. To make the red lighter. To make the, I think the blue part less like, I think, navy and more the color you see now, which is still blue, but like kind of a grayish blue. A grayish like navy blue. And fixed the raised webbing to not be as white as it was, but be more the gunmetal silver. And on top of that, have the webs be more thin and not have the lines where they drew on the suit for the raised webbing to go, but eliminate that entirely because they had the raised webbing done. But yeah, I think it did all three of those things they did all three of those things at once and updated the suit. However, that made an unfortunate thing for the back spider emblem, which I personally did not see this, but I've seen screenshots and videos of other people who did capture it. While apparently in performance mode, what happened is that the back spider emblem would be hovering over his back rather than conforming to the contours of his body whenever he would like do certain poses. That really doesn't make any sense. So it seems that they fixed it. I did not personally see it myself when I was playing the game, but again, I've seen pictures, screenshots that people have seen, or people have taken. And it looks like the Insomniac, their skeleton team that's working on updates for this game, have fixed it. Bravo! Now, if there's only one last thing. Oh yeah, they also, right, that was the same update that fixed the colors on this and also added the black back to the indented webbing that's on this suit on the and also the lines on the blue parts. I really wish they'd add a color variant because this is the same color it was in Homecoming, Infinity War, and Far From Home. I wish they'd add a color variant of this that has the colors that was in Civil War. Now, if you don't know, they when in Captain America Civil War, when this suit appeared, it was entirely CGI because they had an entirely different look and design for the suit that had black raised webbing, like similar to the previous suits from the Sam Raimi trilogy and Amazing Spider-Man 2. Then, as well as the spider emblem being different, but most of the design being roughly the same in terms of the red and blue, but the colors, so they replaced it with CGI in post. You can find set photos of Tom Holland in the original version of the suit, and I'm kind of glad that they changed it. They were probably gonna make it look a little bit better with CGI in post, but yeah. But in post-production, they completely replaced the suit he was wearing with a variant of this using CGI that, like, I think switched the colors just a little bit, but then also made it this finalized design. The colors, though, when they made it a practical suit, slightly changed. When Sony made this a practical suit for shooting Homecoming, and then Disney got it, or got a copy of that for Infinity War, and probably shooting of Endgame as well before they replaced it with the CGI like Iron Spider suit. They made it so that the colors were slightly different. They were more light. The blue was originally more of a navy blue. And I don't quite know why they did that. And this was pointed out by Dorito God. And I like I like his description of it. The lightning of the blue made the black lines on the blue sections stand out way more than they otherwise needed to, and did in the original Civil War scene. You know, the red I believe was also supposed to be a little darker. This was to just make the black blend a little better, and I think overall it makes the suit look better. If you disagree, that's fine. I do like this variant of the suit. I'm not one of those people that has a huge problem with it. What I think would be great, though, is if they added suit styles to the movie suits. They're, for some reason, afraid to do it. I don't know. Maybe they're just... Yeah, I think they're afraid of fucking up. Oh, yeah, and this suit has black and red on the bottoms, too. But I think what would happen... I think what would be great is if they added a suit style that darkened the colors a little bit to match what was in Civil War. It's just me, though. You may disagree, but that would be nice just to have. But yeah, and what would be great is if... God damn it. Is, if they added a suit style that was a variant of this, that made it look more like the Spider-Man 1 variant of the suit. Because if you don't know, the variant of the suit used in Spider-Man 2, 3, and No Way Home was not this design. The webbing was a little different. The front and back spider emblems were slightly different. It's not gonna make me lose sleep at night if they don't do it. I just think it would be nice if they did. And now the suit I hope that they fix in an upcoming patch, the Iron Spider suit from the MCU. Now, I don't know why. There are people who hate it because it's like quote unquote overused in the movies. False, in my opinion. It appears in a quick cameo in the last scene of Homecoming. Well, maybe it is a little overused, but I'll explain what it is. So it has a quick appearance at the end of Homecoming where Tony Stark introduces it to Peter, but Peter does not otherwise use it. Then it's used in Infinity War and Endgame, when it's given to Peter when he and Tony Stark are going into space in that ship. Ebony Maw, I believe his name is flying with, where he has Doctor Strange in it to deliver the Time Stone to Thanos. In Endgame, because Peter gets revived after he dies, after Thanos' snap, and then Hulk's snap to revive everybody who got dusted, he's still wearing the suit, so he shows up in it. Then in Far From Home, there is a quick scene where Peter is using it to fight these gang members, I believe, in a Chinese restaurant, I believe. Because they had to have it in the movie for all that. And then in No Way Home, Peter wears it during the scene where he goes to try to meet up with the was it the chairwoman or something like that, or recruitment lady or whatever her job is, with MIT to try to get Michelle and Ned another shot at getting into MIT. And then ends up fighting Dr. Octopus when he shows up on that bridge. So, yeah. It's... I can kind of see the argument that it's overused, only in the sense that it has at least one scene in 5 of Spider-Man 6 MCU appearances thus far. But its only big use was in Infinity War and Endgame. It's like, otherwise it just gets cameos in the other 3 movies. I don't really see it. But that is besides the point. So, I just thought I'd address that really quickly. Basically, what the suit needs to be done, or needs to happen, is the lenses on the eyes need to be fixed. I've shown this off on social media before, on Twitter and in Discord. But the lenses on the eyes are messed up. Trying to... let me see. So you see how the, what do you call it? The eyes are now. This is not how the eyes are supposed to be. Someone actually pointed this out to me. I think it was either Twitter or Discord. The eyes are set to like a more wider expression by default than they should be. In the movies and the first game in this series, the eyes are more supposed to be like, the lenses are supposed to be more in towards his, the middle of his eye. Not like too much, but let me see if I can find a good. And they still have the lenses, so yeah. So maybe something like that, although that's more. But yeah, they're supposed to be like, what the eyes are supposed to be is like something like this, where they're supposed to be more in by default, but not quite like this. It's really weird to try to explain. Nothing I can really do for that other than... all that. I completely went past it. There we go. But yeah. So to compare it with another suit, you can easily see just from the upgraded suit that the lenses are definitely more like rested on his face. He does not have a, they're not like all the way open like they are on the Iron Spider suit. I don't know how this makes any sense, how this happens. Here we go. The new red and blue suit is also from the MCU. It has the exact same eyes as the Stark suit, the stealth suit, what is supposed to be on the Iron Spider suit, the stealth suit from Far From Home, and I think there's also like one other suit from the MCU that's in the game. So yeah, the Iron Spider suit is supposed to have the same exact eyes as every one of the other main MCU spider suits. The only other MCU spider suit I believe in the game is the homemade suit from Homecoming and Far From Home. But yeah, and you can see there's a huge difference. Like, it looks like the shape is also a little messed up. Because of how they did it, it looks like the eyes are not as like open maybe as they should be. So yeah, the lens color themselves looks fine, but this immediately stood out to me when I believe I was looking at these suits for the first time, and I think I was doing my my analysis of these and just my thoughts on the suits, that video. I really hope that in a future update they fix this. This is, I think, the only suit that still has a problem like this in the game where something is not right. And then on top of that, because of how the because of how the lenses are, these still have the problem that some other suits either used to have or still have, where depending on the angle you're looking at, the black from the lenses clips into the or the black from the outside of it clips into the lens. And yeah, it's not as big of a problem, but you can see it. And I think if you pause at certain points here, you'll see it. But when I was looking earlier, okay, and some of the red from the mask as well. You can see it on the bottom just a little bit. The red from the mask is also clipping into the eye part. That's not supposed to be there. If the lens were as it is normally, like here, see, it's covered up, so you don't notice it. A bunch of suits had, or a handful of suits had a problem with this for some reason. I don't understand how, and I just very much hope that this gets sorted in a future update. Now that they've gone through and fixed those clipping issues with the other two suits and the soles of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit not being black like they should, that's also great. One other thing, I don't know if they'd actually take care of it, but they've recolored two of the suits before. The color right here on the shoulders for this part here and underneath, these are black. These are not supposed to be black. They're supposed to be the same colors as the rest of the spider on his torso, which I think is the same color as on his pants too, or his legs, where it's supposed to be a more blue or grayish, like navy blue, whatever you call this color. I think it's the same or almost the same shade of blue that's on the Raimi suit, the red and blue Raimi suit. But yeah, what's more is that this suit, since it was ported from the first game, still has the problem of the red being too orange. Now, personally, I don't think this suit is bad. Unlike the let's say the where is it? Unlike the first advanced suit, where yeah, you can tell, especially with the better and different lighting model in this game, the red is definitely orange. And that was something I actually noticed in I think my first playthrough, or one of the first few playthroughs I did of the first game on PS4, is that the suit was very much orange in that game. They slightly fixed it when they did the remaster for PS5, where they slightly adjusted the color hues so that this appeared more red than orange. Didn't quite 100% fix the problem, but yeah. What I think would be nice, although, right, this does have suit styles. And none of them, well, this one's a Webman-inspired design. This one just is straight up a mod from the first game, for the PC version of the first game. This is a remaster where, people, like, or a few people, I think it was, took this suit, made all of the red and blue parts black, and kept the spider emblem, the eyes, or color inverted or kept the spider emblem or emblems white, the things on his hands and feet white, the white accents, and then color inverted the lenses white. But yeah, and that's actually pretty fine. I don't like this shit at all. This is an eyesore. But what I think would be nice is if they added a suit color where, and I think they could probably add a few more suit colors to these if they wanted to, like do like a second set. But I think what would be nice is if this suit had a color palette more consistent with the Advanced Suit 2.0, where the red is a more deep red, and the blue is a little bit more, or is definitely more of a sort of deep bluish. I think that would be fine. And then that's classic colors, Webman, yellow. I don't like it. But yeah. But yeah, let me get back to the suit I was talking about. Yeah, you can see on this suit too that the lenses are still the normal ones from the MCU suits. But yeah, this is the only MCU suit that has this issue. I don't know why it has this issue. They still haven't addressed it almost a year later. I don't know why. I do hope that they address it in a future patch. And if they do, I will be the first to tell you guys about it, whether on Twitter or in a YouTube video. So yeah, so this was supposed to be a little bit more, what would you call it? A little more, this was supposed to be shorter, but I got on a few tangents. So, yeah, I'm just very happy that one of my favorite suits, or maybe it was my favorite suit, from the first game got fixed with the problem that was affecting it. I'm glad the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit got the only problem with it fixed. And I'm glad that the only problem now with the black and blue, or red and blue Raimi suit got fixed. So yeah. Here's hoping they fix that one, at least that one issue with the lenses on the Iron Spider suit. And otherwise, I just look forward to whatever else they have been adding. I don't know whether or not they're legit or not, but there was someone who posted screenshots of a few different suits that Insomniac are apparently planning to add for Peter in a future patch, which is the Into the Spider-Verse variant of 2099, which is I think it's a fan requested suit because they replaced the Noir suit from the first game with the Into the Spider-Verse variant of it. Yeah, which is fine that they have this. I don't mind it. I even like the version of the character from the first movie, even if he is just a bit basic, and he's basically a comedic relief character played by Nicolas Cage. As sort of, I think, a reference to the fact that he was in the running to play Spider-Man in the 90s. But, back when I think James Cameron was directing that movie before they got Sam Raimi. I think that one thing would be cool is if they re-added the version of the suit from the first game, but not only did they bring that back as is, but what they then did would be a suit style that adds the trench coat and the hat. I think a lot of people would love for that to happen. So it just looks like a more realistic version of this suit, rather than the Into the Spider-Verse cartoon style, you know. But yeah, if they are going to add, if those screenshots were legit, and they were going to add, or they are going to add, the the Across the Spider-Verse variant of 2099, and the Undies suit is also one that they're apparently going to add. If they add the Undies suit to the game, that would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what suits they'd add for Miles, because actually I think there's maybe 2 or 3 suits that they didn't add to this game from the first game that are still like waiting in the wings. But yeah, the Undies suit, I personally don't really give a shit if it returns. It was a suit that was only in a few seconds of one cutscene, and then they made it the 100% reward for this, or for the first game, once you got 100% of everything. as a slight troll. I don't really give a shit if it's added. I'll be honest. But, yeah. And that's also kind of the thing. If you added an undies suit for Peter, people would probably be wondering where's an undies suit for Miles. But granted, also, Miles is like 17, I think, in this game. So, yeah, it's like 2 years after the first one. Where he was like 15, I believe. But, yeah, and I think in Miles Morales, he was like maybe 16. Because it takes place later on in the year. After the first game. Because the timelines with the games are very interesting. First game takes place in roughly, I think it starts in early October or maybe mid-October. And then it quickly gets to Halloween, so it skips over several days. So yeah, then it slides, I'm pretty sure, into early November. Then the DLCs, they jump forward a few months. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure the DLCs take place over the course of early 2019. In the first game, there were references to the fact that that game took place in 2018. Peter being 23, the date being confirmed to be October 2018. Peter being 23, and then it's confirmed that it's been 8 years since he lost Uncle Ben. In the comics and a lot of other adaptations, he's 15 when he loses Uncle Ben. And it's said that Uncle Ben died in 2010. It's on his gravestone if you go check it out. He lived until 2010. So yeah, the math checks out there that it takes place in October 2018, at least at the start, and then into November. About a month to 2 months after the game came out originally, which is funny. Miles Morales takes place months later. I want to say in like late 2019, after Peter's been training Miles for several months in the ways of Spider-Man and all that shit. And yeah. Then this game takes place, I want to say, in roughly 2020, which is funny because obviously this world didn't suffer from the coronavirus. So yeah. But it's also funny, whereas the first Spider-Man game takes place over the course of like several weeks, and then has a time skip for the DLC, which I believe the DLCs also take place over the course of a few weeks, probably a month. And then Miles Morales takes place probably over the course of about a week, maybe 2 at the most. And then this game definitely only takes place over the course of about maybe half a week to a week. That's just funny how the timetables are on that. But yeah, in this game, it kind of makes it less obvious that happens, but you can still tell. Just through how the passage of time is with this game. But yeah. But because of that, this game takes place about 2 years after the first game. So, yeah. I'm not exactly sure when. I want to say like September, October. Because Peter's starting his like at the beginning, Peter's starting his like teaching job at Miles' school, and then and yeah, and I think it's the start of the semester, maybe, or a little bit after it, but yeah. So roughly September, October. So yeah. But anyways, yeah. So that's been this talk on the update. Man, I took 40 minutes just to say very little, but yeah. So yeah. So really not much else to say, guys. Like, subscription to all of my shit. Subscribe if you want. Let me. Alright, and I will see you guys more later.